Elm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeat. The hosts booked a final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final after beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace was successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move to their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere, into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tim Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Adrian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in Rugby Union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones is excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. With 23 new players signed up for the campaign, it's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam or prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last 3 holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sung Jae Im, trailing by 1 shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are our latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeat. The hosts booked a final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final after beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace was successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move to their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere, into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news. And Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tim Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Arian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in Rugby Union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones is excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new-look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. With 23 new players signed up for the campaign, it's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam or prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last three holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sungjae Im, trailing by one shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are our latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeats. The hosts put to final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final after beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace was successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move into their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they will now face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tim Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Arian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in Rugby Union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones is excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new-look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. with 23 new players signed up for the campaign. It's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam over prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last 3 holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sungjae Im, trailing by 1 shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeats. The hosts booked a final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final after beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace were successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move to their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tin Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Adrian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in rugby union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones says he's excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. With 23 new players signed up for the campaign, it's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam over prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last 3 holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sungjae Im, trailing by 1 shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeats. The hosts booked a final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final for beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace were successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move to their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere, into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with the return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tim Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Adrian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in Rugby Union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones is excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. With 23 new players signed up for the campaign, it's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam over prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last 3 holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sungjae Im, trailing by 1 shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are our latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeat. The hosts booked a final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final for beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace were successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-finals to move to their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their face Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere, into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tin Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went to hospital with a head injury after a dressing room row with teammate Arian Tchouameni, but he denied the pair came to blows. The Uruguayan said the injury, which will keep him out of Sunday's match against Barcelona, was caused when he accidentally hit a table. Elsewhere then, into news with cricket, James Anderson has called the regulations around injury replacements in the county championship daft and nonsensical. The season-long trial allows replacements for injury, illness and insignificant life events, but Lancashire have twice been left confused by decisions surrounding the replacements they have permitted, and Anderson insists the rules are certainly not working. Elsewhere in Rugby Union, Newcastle Red Bulls interim head coach Stephen Jones is excited by the wonderful challenge the club will face next season. Jones is set to revert to his preferred role as attack coach in the new look coaching team, which will be led by Dan McFarland. With 23 new players signed up for the campaign, it's a busy summer at Kingston Park, and Jones insists that it's a quality challenge for us as coaches. In tennis, Yannick Sinner considers it's tough to say whether he would ever boycott a Grand Slam or prize money, but the Italian claims players are not getting the respect they deserve. His fellow world number one Anya Sabalenka said on Tuesday that she believes players will at some point boycott one of the majors. Sinner insists it's more about respect going forward. And in golf, American Matt McCarthy took a surprise lead at the Truist Championship before play was suspended in Charlotte on Thursday. The world number 45 made a combined 220 feet of putts, the most in a single round this season, and birdied his last three holes to post an 8-under first round of 63. He leads from Sungjae Im, trailing by one shot. England's Harry Hall is one of 5 players in a tie for third. That's all in for the latest headlines. Here are our latest sporting headlines. I'm Tom Helm. We'll start with news in football, and Aston Villa demolished Nottingham Forest and their hopes to charge into the Europa League final as they managed to secure a spot in the final, moving closer to a 30-year major trophy drought. John McGinn's late double added to Emi Buendia's penalty and Ollie Watkins' opener to complete Villa's comeback against Nottingham Forest after last week's 1-0 first leg defeat. The hosts put to final against Bundesliga side Freiburg, who beat Braga 4-3 on aggregate in Istanbul on the 20th of May. It was Freiburg through to their first European final after beating the 10-man Braga. A red card for Dorgeles in the 6th minute turned the tie firmly in the favour of Freiburg, with Kubler scoring a brace and Manzambi also getting on the score sheet. Elsewhere, into news in football, Crystal Palace was successful in their quest to reach Europe final. They created history as they defeated Shakhtar Donetsk in the Conference League semi-final to move into their first ever European final at Aroca Selhurst Park. It was a great night for Palace as they won their fate Rayo Vallecano in the final in Leipzig after the Spanish side defeated French outfit Strasbourg 2-0 in the other semi-final. Elsewhere into news in football, and the English Football League has launched an investigation into an alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before they meet in the Championship playoffs. The first leg of their semi-final takes place at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday, with a return at St Mary's on Tuesday. Reports suggest that the Saints' performance analysis was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics late on Thursday morning. Elsewhere then, into other news, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's omission from the England squad has baffled Wayne Rooney. He said he's not including in the final squad before he makes his World Cup selection. He's got a few weeks left to try and impress with players like Ben White, Tin Livramento, Jed Spence and Edric Conter all picked ahead of him for the last round of friendlies, something Rooney said has perplexed him. Elsewhere, with Real Madrid, Federico Valverde went
finished third place in the championship. They've got Patterson in goal. And we will leave that just there because we're underway at the MKM Stadium, and it's that time of the year where we finally come back around for the championship playoffs. Almost a little mini competition that is always so highly anticipated. Whether you're involved in it, whether you're a neutral, everybody wants to see what gets on in the championship playoffs. It's Hull City hosting Millwall in this one. Millwall finishing third in the regular championship season. They've got a long throw straight into the penalty area. They've instantly won a corner, have the Lions. And like I said, Millwall finishing third in the regular season. Hull finishing 6th. Millwall only just missing out on the top 2, which is heartbreaking, especially for what a magical season they've actually had. They were 1 point off finishing in the top two, but we'll come back to that in a moment, because Millwall with an early corner whipping in well headed away by Ollie McBurney, and then potentially Hull can fly forwards, but that's a lovely ball back out to Femi Aziz, who was of course in the Championship team of the season. Ball whipped in towards the front post, straight into the hands of Pandher, but a good start for the visitors. It's myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Joshua Makin to bring you coverage of this one, and Josh, fingers crossed, as ever with the Championship, we get a good game.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. It always delivers, doesn't it, as well, the Championship playoffs. Sometimes these first legs, they can maybe be a little bit cagey, but I mean, for the start of this game, we've had its end-to-end stuff so far. Hull attacking. Yeah,
Giles getting into the penalty area. What a run from him. He then goes for goal. What a save that is. In the end, it was actually Balumi with the strike, or has he put it wide? What a run from Balumi that is on the left-hand side. It was a simple, just route one ball. I'll see it back again. Yes, it was Balumi who just made the overlapping run. He was dancing into the penalty area. No one could stop him, jinking onto his left, then onto his right. He's hit the post in the end. It wasn't a save. He's hit the post. What a chance. But what a start, what an opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, hopefully this is something to go off of, because what a start we've had. Millwall getting a corner and Hull going up the other end. It's brilliant work, isn't it, from Balumi. He's so unlucky. It just absolutely takes two players out of the game in Leonard and Kramer. Not an easy thing to do as well with how good they've been this season. He's so unlucky not to see that go into the back of it. You feel like an early goal for Hull in this one would be absolutely massive. In the first leg, of course, it's their home tie. They want to make the most of it. Millwall, you'd imagine, probably happy to go into that game at the Den with the draw, and then they'll feel they can win the game at home. But Hull have got to take it to Millwall tonight. They've got to make the most of this home advantage. It'll be so up for it. It looks like a sold-out MKM stadium, so everyone's going to be right up for this one, and that's the perfect start they wanted.
We usually see when the sixth place side at home in the first leg don't capitalise on having the home leg in the first leg, then usually it ends up in the third place taking advantage when they meet a few days after. We just see the cameras linger on a couple of Millwall players. Well, while it goes out for a Hull throw-in, I can bring you the lineups for Jurkovic's side. He's got Pandher in goal. A back four of Coyle, Egan, Hughes and Giles. Midfield two of Slater and Crooks, with Balumi and Miller on the wings, and Gelhardt will be sitting pretty close, almost as a front two, with Ollie McBurney. For Millwall, they have Patterson in goal. A back four of Leonard, Kramer, Cooper and Sturge. Midfield two of Mazu Saka and Denore, with Aziz and Ballo on either wings, and Nesley sat just behind Josh Coburn, who leads the line. He popped up with a couple of massive goals recently against his former club, Middlesbrough, in a game I covered where they came back to win 2-1 in that one. What was a great game of football. Coyle with a poor ball down the line, easily intercepted by Sturge, who drags it forward. What a run that is from the Millwall left back. He's still going. Maybe he's done a little bit too much. He goes down. The referee thought about it. He didn't give the free kick straight away, and now he does. So a free kick for Millwall, but a high intensity start.
Yeah, really high intensity. Gavin Ward, the referee for this evening's game, and you're right, he did have a bit of a think about that when he's in a great position to see it. Fantastic run from Sturgeon. It's surprising so far, the start of this game, how open it is. So far it's stretched. You'd think maybe they'd just think, let's not make any mistakes early on, let's just try and establish a foothold in the game. But both sides going hell for leather in the opening 4 minutes. It's what we want to see from the neutral perspective. And now Sturge should take the resulting free kick.
Yeah, hangs it up into the area, headed away by Crooks. And out for a throw-in. Probably going to be another long throw-in from Millwall. We know that that's what they operate, and it's not just them, is it, that does it in England anymore. It feels like it's a majority. It's very rare you see a side in England not operate with the long throw-ins, a trend that has hit the country as of late, as we see this ready to be launched into the area by Leonard. He hangs it forwards. This time he does launch it into the area, headed away by Egan, straight back out, but instead they're going to win the free kick for a foul on Ollie McBurney. Well, Hull just about scraped their way into the playoffs, didn't they, with a win on the last day against Norwich. It was kind of a three-way shootout between them, Wrexham and Derby. Derby lost to Sheffield United. Wrexham dropped points to Middlesbrough. So Hull's comeback, despite being 1-0 down against Norwich, was vital for them, and their form going into that game probably left their fans fearing the worst, because they were 6 winless going into the final day of the season, but they managed to get the job done. And one of the players who helped them do that, Ollie McBurney, well, the man who just won the free kick as well, he's been vital to their season.
He's been an absolute revelation, hasn't he? And maybe a bit of a surprising one as well. Always been a decent player at championship levels. Scored goals in the Premier League, of course, but I don't think anyone anticipated seeing what he's going on to do this season. 17 goals in the championship, the second top scorer in the division, 4 in his last 5 as well. So he's in form coming into these playoff games. So if Hull are going to get to the Premier League, they need him fit and firing for these games. He's got to be at the heart of everything they do. They've got Joe Gellert, of course, just behind him. Leeds United loanee, he's been absolutely brilliant as well. Got a fantastic front four, as we were saying actually before the game. You look at Miller as well, great player for the Championship. Baloomi's already looked impressive so far in this game. So they've got an impressive front four of Hull, and if they are going to get to Wembley and go on and win it, they need them front four firing. Yeah,
it's been a hectic start to this game, like we've said. I don't think either side are really controlling it at the moment. Baloomi steps in, it goes for a throw-in for Millwall again in an advanced area, where Hull are just struggling to stop Millwall in their tracks at the moment. Millwall are only operating the long throws from the right-hand side at the moment. Sturge is going to take this. I'd say that. Well, then maybe Sturge is going to launch it in. I just thought maybe because he had the ball in hand and not Leonard, they might not go with it, but they trust both fullbacks to do the job, and he does throw it in. It's got some decent length on it, and then Gelhardt clears his lines on the volley, boots it all the way forwards, which will go through to Leonard and back to his goalkeeper. But I guess for Millwall, I don't think anyone would have really predicted them to even be in a promotion race this season. Never mind the heartbreak of just being 1 point off finishing in the top two.
Yeah, they've been banging on the door sometimes, haven't they, in the last few years? It's never quite come together. It's always seemed like it's just fallen apart at the end. You could maybe say that happened, with their promotion campaign. They'll have been, in the top two for parts of the season. At one point, it looked like it was going to be them who were the favourites when they went and beat Middlesbrough at the Riverside not too long ago. But still a fantastic season from them and everyone involved at the club. Again, probably like Hull, not many people probably had them in the third position at the start of the season. The whole playoff sort of pack has sort of changed, hasn't it, throughout the campaign. It's been twists and turns, and we've seen things that we didn't quite expect. But yeah, credit to both sides. Millwall probably going into this game as the favourites as well, aren't they? You're probably seeing the whole playoff. Southampton, the most likely, just because of the form that they're in and the sort of football that they're playing. You never know with the playoffs, it can be an absolute lottery.
Yeah, well, we saw the game that Southampton gave to Manchester City at Wembley, so that's probably a bit terrifying for the playoff, the teams in the playoffs. 8 minutes into this one, still 0-0, no real chances apart from those opening frantic couple of minutes. Well, two of Hull's 3 promotions have come through the playoffs, so it's a competition that they do quite enjoy. One that springs to mind is Modi Army's absolute cracker against Sheffield Wednesday at Wembley. As we see Millwall back in possession just along the half-wheel end. They're definitely having more of the ball. They look like the side that are third at the moment. As I say that, the forward ball from Cooper is really poor and goes out for a goal kick. But they seem a little bit more comfortable at the moment in possession. Yeah, they do. They've just steadied the game, haven't they, in the sort of last 5 minutes. It was a little bit hectic at the start. Hull have had that big chance, obviously, with Baloomi. But ever since then, they've not really had any joy going forward. McBurney and Gellert are yet to really get going in this game. And Millwall, definitely, as we were saying, coming into this game as the favourites. They've started to look like that in the last few moments or so. A lot more steady from them. Alex Neil have just calmed them down after that start. They're now starting to get on the ball and control it a little bit more. As we say that, they have just smashed the ball out for a goal kick, but yeah, it's still better from them. Yeah, a lot better as Cooper wins his header, which he's going to do a majority of times. Alex Neil with a little bit of skill on the touchline to try and keep the ball in and around that throwing area. He ends up ballooning his touch out into the middle of the pitch, and that's why he's the manager of Millwall. As we see Coyle ready to take this throw, he launches it down the line. Sturge wins his header. It's going to go back out for a throw-in. This time it's Jukiewicz chance the opposite manager to show his footwork. He's a little bit more accurate into the hands of Louis Coyle, who's just wanting a little bit of movement. Once again, he throws it long in behind towards McBurney. Sturge wins his header again. Crammer wants his goalkeeper to come for it. He doesn't. A little bit of pressure on Anthony Patterson's touch. Who knows what it takes to get through the playoffs? The Millwall goalkeeper, him and Tommy Watson, who's on the bench, of course, a massive part of Sunderland's season last season. So they'll try to almost use their experience in that sense, despite both being younger players. It was actually Tommy Watson's goal who got Sunderland promoted, and they owe a lot to the youngster because the stuff that Sunderland have gone on to do this season has been fantastic. There's another free kick's been given, just a bit scrappy over the last few minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit scrappy in it now. It's starting to look more like a first leg playoff semi-final. It's a bit more cagey, and that's what we've seen in the last few moments or so. It is nice, like you say, for Millwall to have Tommy Watson on the bench again. He's got that last minute goal, so now that would get the job done. Anthony Patterson as well made an unbelievable save in that playoff final against Sheffield United. It was a real sort of sliding doors moment as well. You see what Sheffield United have done this season. They've had a really poor campaign, of course, under Ruben Sellers at the start, and then Chris Wilder couldn't get anywhere near the playoffs in the end, despite signing some pretty good and
experienced players in the January window. It never came through for them, and Sunderland have comfortably stayed up in the Premier League in the end. So yeah, it just shows you how much it can change with just one game.
As you see, Mazu-Saka, the midfielder, he almost seems to be sat in the middle of the centre halves at the moment, doesn't he? Playing almost a bit of a quarterback role, very deep line midfielder. As you see, another throw-in for Millwall. Been a lot of throw-ins for Millwall so far in this run. 11 minutes on the clock, still 0-0 between these two sides. Sturridge just waiting for a little bit of movement. He throws it all the way back though to Cooper, who finds Patterson. He's going to check forwards to see if he can find anybody, but once again just recycles it for Jake Cooper again, as there's no real pressure on him at the moment. Not being able to see the likes of McBurney or Joe Gelhardt get involved, or really even Miller and Bellumi. We just saw Miller and Bellumi link up for that chance in the opening 2 minutes or so. It's going to go out for another Millwall throw, this time back on the right hand side. You wonder whether this might be too far back to launch into the area, and by the players' stances it doesn't look like they're going to do so. Leonard takes the throw in short towards the midfield, and now it's going to be Mazu-Saka back for Cooper, who's got options ahead, gets it onto his left foot, goes across to Mazu-Saka once more, and they're forced all the way back to Anthony Patterson. That's a little bit better in terms of the out of possession shape from Hull. Forward ball up towards Aziz, he wins his header. Crooks wins his as well. It's been given into the middle though, and here they come, and it's Ballo driving forwards. He's going to hit it from distance. It trickles wide and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, never looked convincing there, did Ballo, as he went up to line the shot up. I thought it was the right decision to take the shot on from there. Sturridge is making an overlapping run, but it's a bit too far back for him to think about. But he doesn't really ever look convincing. He just sort of leans back and doesn't quite connect with the strike. There's a whole player coming across to him as well, so maybe doesn't want to get caught in the way of that. And a decent chance missed there for Millwall, still without the goalkeeper being threatened.
Yes, you now see this goal kick ready to be taken. One shot apiece between these two sides at the moment. As the goal kick goes long, it's a really poor goal kick from Panda. It ends up, I think he slices it towards the opposite side to where he was aiming, which allows Millwall to come forwards. Once again, it goes for a Millwall throw-in. They're claiming that it should have been a free kick. Hull just haven't been able to settle so far.
No, they haven't. I mean, I think we were maybe given a false hope, wasn't we, by that early start from that chance with Bellumi. It came out of nowhere down that left side, and ever since then, Hull haven't really been able to get out of their own half. They haven't got McBurney or Gelhardt involved in the game at all. But I think we barely mentioned them on the ball. So it's still very early in this game, and Hull have got plenty of time to try and settle, but just feel like Millwall have started to take control of this leg, and that's what they've been wanting to do. Yeah,
Anthony Patterson goes long. Of course, it's so different when you come to two-legged football over just the one game. Millwall will have to, of course, have that second leg in mind, with the fact that it will be at home. As Aziz hits one from distance, he puts it wide in the end. So it's two pop shots from the Millwall wingers at the moment, neither able to hit the target.
Yeah, that's probably a better one though from Aziz. I mean, the position of it is slightly questionable, taking the shot on from there, and he does probably have more options than Ballo did just a few moments ago. Just sort of snaps at it with his left foot. It's well wide of the goal in the end. Panda again not really being called into action at the moment, other than to just take some goal kicks.
Yeah, another goal kick coming up for Panda as Sergej Jurkovic watches on. He'll be wanting a little bit more from his side to get on the ball a little bit more. That's a great touch from McBurney. He then goes down, nothing given. Seemed a fair challenge. Just felt like he held on to the ball a little bit too long there as Patterson boots it long towards absolutely no one in an all-white shirt. That's the colour that Millwall are playing in today. They're all-white away strip, socks, shorts and shirt. As we see, Cooper takes a heavy touch, plays it forwards. It comes off Gelhardt and out of play for another Millwall throw-in. And the referee's just telling Sturridge to move back a little bit. Millwall, what a season it's been for them, like we've mentioned, but they have been outside the top flight for about 36 years, which is a long time for Millwall, a very, very long time. And they're wanting to get back to the top flight. They did have the best away record in the Championship as well throughout the season, winning 11, drawing 8, and only losing 4 on the road, which, I mean, that's going to give them all the confidence they need for today.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that helps in a playoff campaign, doesn't it, where you're only going to play one game at home and then you've got one away and then one at Wembley as well. So that will definitely help them out. They're so hard to beat as well, aren't they, especially when they come to grounds like this. They've got a manager who knows how to go and get results. Alex Neil has had success in the playoffs as well before, and then with Norwich and the likes of that. So he knows how to get a team through them. So they'll have a lot of confidence that he can stay them to the Premier League.
Yeah, he will. A lot of confidence. As you just see a throw-in right next to the corner flag, ready to be taken for Hull. A rare moment of possession just in the Millwall half. Bellumi hangs one into the area. Dangerous ball in, but Cooper is always going to get his head to it. I think it may have even been Kramer at the front post. Centre-half who did get added into the Championship team of the season as well. He's had a great season. The Frenchman played right back a lot of this season though, hasn't he? As we see Miller, he finds Giles on the left-hand side, hangs it up towards the front post. McBurney gets a touch and it just trickles across the face of goal. Here's now Bellumi driving into the area onto his left foot. He goes for goal straight at Anthony Patterson in the end, but that's more convincing from Hull.
Yeah, much better. That's a brilliant ball in from the left, isn't it? It's exactly what Ryan Giles is all about, putting crosses in like that, and that's where you want McBurney, right at the near post there, just trying to make that run across the defender. In the angle is slightly against him, he just can't get that touch to divert it towards the near post. Then see Bellumi having the shot on the edge of the area. It might be the first shot on target of the game. It's an easy save in the end for Anthony Patterson. It's straight down the barrel of him. It's the save though that he needed to make.
It's a great ball from Giles, isn't it? A man who's got the most assists for Hull this season with 8. He's always had that in his locker. As Nedley's coming forward now, he's still on the right hand side. He hangs a ball into the area. This still in there. Sturge is there at the back post. He looks to get the better of his man, but he's forced all the way back towards Mazu Sako. Millwall looking to respond themselves to that first shot on target of the game, which was by Bellumi. Always wanting to cut onto that left foot and go for goal from the right hand side. He's had the of course 2 shots for Hull so far, as we now see Kramer under a bit of pressure from McBurney. The forward ball is a risky one, intercepted, but Giles' forward ball is a poor one, gives it straight back towards the Belgian Casper Denore. Cooper finds the number 24 again, back towards Cooper. Mazu Saka just starting to see a bit more of a press from Hull in certain moments. Cooper on it once more as he waits for an option. Denore, this time it's intercepted, and here come Hull on the counter-attack, and it's McBurney. Here's an opportunity, he's got options to the right, he uses Joe Gelhardt, he cuts onto his left foot, he slips in the end, and you can't believe that they've wasted that opportunity. What a chance for Hull City. That was a 3v2. Gelhardt got the better of his man. It looked like it would have been an absolute, well, not a tap-in, it would still have the goalkeeper to beat, but what a chance it would have been. He slips at a vital moment. Here come Millwall on the counter-attack, and it's Coburn. He looks for a ball into the centre. Ballo dummies it, thinking that Nedley's behind him. He isn't. And then the clearance goes as far as Miller. That's well intercepted by Leonard. He hangs it into the penalty area, cleared away by Coyle into the middle. Can Gelhardt get there first? No, he can't. Mazu Sako will. Not once, but twice. But what a chance that was for Gelhardt.
Huge chance. There's probably not a man in the box you want there more than for Hull City there than Joe Gelhardt. Massive chance on that left foot as well. And you're just thinking when he gets the turn on his man like that, he's just going to bury it in the far corner. That slip is absolutely massive in the context of this game. Hull have just started to step onto Millwall a little bit more again. We said they needed to show some urgency. They needed to make the most of this home advantage. That message is getting through to them from the head coach. And Joe Gelhardt, we won't want to watch that again. He knows what a big chance it could have been. But ultimately, it remains goalless.
Yeah, it does. Still goalless between the sides. As we now just see the ball with Aziz. He's driving forward, ball in behind. Coburn looked a mile offside, and the offside flag does go up in the end, and it's a good, strong line. But the cameras linger on Joe Gelhardt, who looks to the sky because he knows what a big chance it was. It was a great interception in the build-up from Regan Slater to start the counter-attack. And just seeing it now, Gelhardt, he got the better of his man, didn't he? You could maybe say the presence of Cram may have put him off just a little bit, but he does just completely lose his footing, and he'll be so frustrated.
Yeah, well, it's a gutting moment that for Joe Gelhardt, who's had an absolutely fantastic season at Hull City. I'm sure they'd love to bring him in on a permanent next season. Depends obviously on Gelhardt's place with Leeds in the Premier League. But, yeah, big chance for Gelhardt. It's not going to be the last that he gets, though. He pops up in so many great positions, and he's always a massive threat for Hull City. So it's not going to be the last that we see of him in this game. See the possession stats as well. 67% of the ball for Millwall. Despite that, though, it feels like Hull have probably had the better moments.
Yes, the Hull centre half has gone down holding his face in a challenge with Coburn that the referee hasn't given anything for. He didn't stop play either, so Hughes has had to get quickly back to his feet now as Mazu Sako turns away, looks towards Aziz, in towards Cooper again, who's going to carry it forward, looks to get the better of his man. He takes a risky touch, and I tell you what, it's a good job he's a giant because he's just stopped a potential counter-attack, but what a ball that is from Louis Coyle in towards Bellumi, who drives down the right-hand side. He's got Mazu Saka to beat. Great challenge in. He's looked good, hasn't he, so far? Mazu Saka puts the challenge in perfectly, stays with him. He's done that a few times. The number 49, I've been really impressed with him. I think it's the first time I've ever seen him play. When I've covered Millwall, I don't believe he's been in the squad. I know he's had a big injury problem this season, but he started really sharp in midfield.
Yeah, he's just everywhere in the midfield, isn't he? He's like a bulldog, just charging everyone down and making tackles everywhere you look. There could be a chance on now for Millwall.
Yeah, what is Louis Coyle doing there? Is there's a strike at goal, takes a deflection and goes behind for another Millwall corner, but I don't know what on earth Louis Coyle's doing there, letting that ball bounce. I mean, he was wanting a bit of help, but yeah, that's not great defending.
Yeah, it's one of the things you get taught as a defender, isn't it? Never let the ball bounce, just keep it in the air and head it away from where it comes from. In the end, he sort of gets caught. He was lucky that Aziz's sort of charged down in the end there by Ryan Giles. Look, concedes a set piece, and we know how good Millwall are from the set piece. They can get likes of Kramer, Jake Cooper, all up there. A lot of tall players. Third the set piece goals this season with 26, and it comes now.
Yeah, and it's a decent delivery in, but well headed away by Hughes, only as far as Knaisley. He plays it out for Mazu Saka again. Back on the right-hand side for Leonard, who is going to potentially try to get the better of Hughes. He hangs a ball into the area that's cleared away and out for a throw-in. Well, with that, 22 minutes on the clock, we've reached the halfway stage of this first half. Well, it was a frantic opening 2 minutes, wasn't it? And since then, we've seen a couple of half chances for either side, but it does remain 0-0. It will be Josh take you through to half-time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kieran. Just seen a replay actually of that corner kick, and Jake Cooper was having his shirt pulled. If he goes down there may be a shout for a penalty, but he opted to stay on his feet, and Millwall still have a throw-in as a result of it. It's Leonard this time who loops it high up into the air. Not the greatest delivery, but almost flicked on there by Kramer, I believe it was, at the near post, just wiggling free of his man. Can't quite direct the shot goalward though this time. It is out for a goal kick to the left of the screens, of course, in front of those Millwall fans. They've packed out the away, and I'm sure it's a fantastic atmosphere at the MKM Stadium. Always hard to be bored by the playoffs as well, even though we haven't had too many major chances so far. There's so much on the line, there's so much tension. It's hard to keep your eyes away from Panda though with this goal kick though now. Going to send it long up towards the left side of the pitch. Cooper charges it down and heads it back towards the right channel. Giles is going to have to be careful under pressure from Aziz. He takes a safe option, just puts it away for a throw-in that Leonard is going to take. It's probably too far back to think about the long throw-in though this time. Kramer staying close to him in support. Leonard is looking for his options as runs being made down the line, and he's looking to find Josh Coburn. Again, it's headed up in the air though by Giles. Hughes will try and keep it in, but ultimately failed to do so. And this is a throw-in again for Millwall. A much more advanced position on the pitch. It's more towards the corner flag this time, so they can launch this straight into the area. We've seen Leonard with the long throw-in. Sturge capable of them as well on the left side. And it's going to be Millwall's number 18 now to launch this 1-0. Miller staying close to him, even though no one's in that area of the pitch. He loops it in towards the box. Cooper can't get there ahead of Hughes, although it comes back for Leonard. High up in the air, Denora trying to head it down. It's bobbling around in the 6-yard box before Hull eventually scramble it clear. It's going to be Louis Coyle to send it up the pitch. Bellumi's gone down under a challenge there with Sturge. Sergej Jakarovic absolutely furious on the touchline. He thinks that should have been a free kick. Cameras weren't really focused on that as the ball moved forward. So now Hull have got themselves a job to do to win the ball back. It's with Mazu Saka. Now again towards Knaisley all the way back there. Denora with a first time pass high up into the air. He's looking for Femi Aziz, and he's got the better of Giles as well. He's got round his man and he's moving the other way now. He finds Sturge over on this far left hand side. They're trying to get the overload on the left wing of Millwall. Sturge up in towards the box, lays it off now for Ballo. First time ball, and could be a chance for Aziz. He takes a swipe at it, completely misconnects with it in the end. It's a decent chance that for Millwall, but Aziz can't quite hit it.
Yeah, it's a decent chance, isn't it? I don't think that'll go down as a shot because he absolutely whiffs at it. Does Aziz, but Millwall looks so much more dangerous than Hull City in this one. I mean, they look a lot better. They're causing the problems. They're knocking on the door. They've just not had a big chance as of yet.
Sure, that will come for them. So it might even come at this throw-in as well. I would have mentioned about Millwall's prolificity from set pieces. Leonard again high and looping. They've won the header this time. It might fall for Ballo. Goes for the overhead kick inside the box. Hull still haven't got it cleared. It's poked towards goal by Kramer. It might have even been deflected in the end. Hull wanted a free kick as a result of it. Instead they're going to settle for the quick throw out. Louis Coyle finds Gellert. Can there be a chance now for a counter-attack? He's just charged down in the end though by Ballot. It's quite an interesting moment there though for Millwall, going for the overhead kick inside the box again. Just couldn't quite connect for it. It's a lot of nearly moments at the moment for Millwall.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of half chances at the moment for them, but see the ball on the left-hand side now with Hull. They just need to settle down in this one. They really do, because they've not been able to gather themselves so far. Yes, they've had a couple of counter-attacks, but they've had next to no control in this game at all.
Yeah, Sergej Jukovic won't be happy about that. Neither of these two sides are usually that bothered about possession in games this season. The two with the lowest share of possession in their games, and they've still managed to have fantastic seasons, so it's quite an interesting dynamic to see who wants to control this game. We are seeing it as Millwall for the most part, as we may have expected with them being the team that finished third, but Hull have said got another chance now. Coyle's got space to drive into down this right side. Ballo eventually comes across to cover him off, but he'll find the pass inside towards Crooks. 26.5 minutes gone on the East Coast. It's still goalless between Hull and Millwall in this playoff semi-final first leg. The home side looking to change that now. It's Bellumi in line with the 18-yard box on the right wing. He passes it inside again towards Crooks. Wants to find another option. That's a bit of a risky pass, which just about finds Giles. He then finds Miller as well. Now here is the Canadian moving down the left wing. He's been quiet so far. Knocks it back to Giles. First time ball in towards the box, in towards the 6-yard area. That's an easy claim for Anthony Patterson.
Yeah, easy take in the end. Just once again, it's all feeling a little bit rushed. No real structure to Hull's attacks at the moment. Even Crooks, who was heavily involved there, but it all seemed very panicky for Hull City. What a touch! Well, it looked like it was a good touch from Coburn, but it was well closed down in the end. But yeah, Hull just got to use that and take that into their stride now.
Yeah, neither striker has really had any sort of joy in this game so far. Josh Coburn has found it hard to be served. Same with McBurney as well. He's had that chance at the near post. Again, it was barely even a half chance really for the Scottish striker. Hull now playing out from the back. This is what they want to see more. A bit more control in possession as Coyle now feeds Gellert, almost evades him, but he still keeps hold of possession. This is good football as Bellumi finds McBurney, slips it through, looking for the run of Liam Miller. Doesn't get his pass right though, the Hull number 9, and ultimately it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's poor from McBurney in the end. That's really poor for his standards, because that was really nice football from Hull. McBurney find it in a nice bit of space, but yeah, it's so overhit. It really doesn't need to. It shouldn't be that hard of a pass from McBurney. Yes, Miller's running away from goal, but even just give him a chance to get on the end of it. Maybe he can recycle it, keep hold of possession, try to create chances himself instead of going for goal. But yeah, that's poor from McBurney.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was great football before that. You are right. The defenders were dragged out for Millwall, and then McBurney just found the space in behind, but he couldn't quite get his pass right. Overhit and out for a goal kick, and it does remain goalless. Hughes this time wins his header. He searches for McBurney. Kramer is forced to head it out for a throw-in, so Hull can get up in Millwall's half of the field once more. McBurney's really frustrated with himself, isn't he, after that pass? Cameron's continuing to focus in on himself. He's just sort of let a shout out towards the skies. Giles now is going to take this throw-in, looking for the options. He's got one in the form of Gellert, but instead opts for Liam Miller. He's beaten by Leonard to that one. He finds Matsu Sako. It's then sent up the pitch by Aziz. Coburn in a real battle there with Charlie Hughes, which he just about loses in the end. He gets the final touch and out for a throw-in. It's certainly going to be an interesting battle to keep an eye on between Coburn and Hughes. John Egan as well, of course, the other centre-back for Hull City. Here he is on the ball now as well, moving out towards Coyle. Heavy pass and heavy touch as well there from Hull City's captain. He's got Ballot all over him there. Ultimately plays it off of the Austrian though and out for a throw-in. Just approaching the half-hour mark at the MKM Stadium. Still goalless in this playoff semi-final. Of course, the other semi-final will be taking place tomorrow. That's between Middlesbrough and Southampton. Let's see who's going to be playing at Wembley. Always a massive occasion, of course. Southampton, we're confident the fact they've won at Wembley as well in the playoffs in recent times. They, of course, went up in the 23-24 season before being relegated straight back down. Looking to bounce back up, though, with Ipswich Town, who of course promoted back at the first time of asking, win second with that big win over QPR on the final day. Of course meant that Millwall didn't go up automatically despite a good win themselves. It's Matsu Sako then out for the visitors, playing it in towards Casper Denori. Back to Matsu Sako, now out towards Cooper. McBurney with a sliding tackle, and Cooper almost loses the ball to the Scottish international in the end, but they do keep hold of it. Millwall moved over towards the right side of their own box now. They're still penned in though for the time being before Denore threads it through for Leonard. Can they finally get going on the attack? They can't. They're forced to go backwards instead towards Denore. Out towards Leonard again, hugging the touchline on the halfway line. And back towards Kramer. A slow build up from Millwall, just waiting to try and drag those Hull players out. They're not biting at the moment though. Lots of possession for Denore. Ultimately Slater tries to spring the press. Chip ball forward now as well as Coburn this time wins his battle with Hughes, and he's still up towards the edge of the box now. Coburn going for the shot. It's deflected. Sturge won't try and keep that one in, and it's out for another corner.
Yeah, another corner for Millwall. Coburn with a strike, and Millwall have been the better side by quite some way in this one, and Coburn just fancying it from distance. They're not afraid to pull the trigger, are they, Millwall, in this one? I think maybe 4 of their 6 shots might be from distance so far. So yeah, Millwall definitely going for it.
Yeah, got a lot of confidence about them, haven't they, at the moment, Millwall, despite heartbreaking the missing out on automatic promotion. They haven't let that affect them by the looks of things. That away end looks to be in fine voice behind the away end. As the corner comes in now, there's a man gone down for Hull City, and the referee, Gavin Ward, will blow his whistle this time. I think it's John Egan who's gone down in the box there under a challenge from Jake Cooper. Always physical in the box. We'll see the replay of it now. Egan has sort of get brought down by Leonard.
Yeah, it's clear free kick in at the end. A lot of pushing and shoving in the penalty area, which we've seen a few times so far.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that in the modern game. The referees are on top of those sort of things at the set pieces. It goes to waste for Millwall, so it's going to be a Hull City free kick well inside their own box. Panda is going to send this one long again. Always aiming for the left wing. That's where McBurney is stationed, but he loses out to Kramer this time. Crooks got a bit of work to do in the middle under pressure from Nageley and Denore. He's forced all the way back to the goalkeeper, and then it's a good pass from him. Gives Nageley a little push as well there as he gets back up to his feet. Wasn't escalating to anything more than that though. Coyle now under pressure from Ballot. A real go at him there is the Austrian. He's overstepped the mark. Alex Neil absolutely furious, and he's out of his technical area at that resulting decision from Gavin Ward. Wants to keep his cards in his pocket, understandably so. It's a big occasion. You can see there Coyle is just getting dragged back by Ballot. Not sure the Millwall man can have too many complaints about it, even though Alex Neil is right next to him as well. He's not even looking at him as he gives the decision there, so I'm not sure how he thinks it's a free kick. He's already looking at the referee. But meanwhile, Hull have got the game back underway. 33.5 minutes gone at the MKM Stadium. Still goalless. Could change now though. Crooks brings it down. He finds McBurney on the edge. He's looking for the pass towards Miller. It's snuffed out, but Miller might get another chance. He slips it through. Can Giles keep that in? Does so as well. He puts it towards the near post. No one making the run. That's where you want to see Ollie McBurney. Wasn't there though, and Patterson gathers it into his hands. Yeah,
once again it just felt a bit scrappy, didn't it? The passes weren't really coming off, or they were overhit, which the Miller one towards Giles was, so he was on full stretch trying to keep it in. It meant he couldn't really get too much hook on the actual cross straight into the path of the goalkeeper, but it's more positive for Hull. Getting forwards, getting into the better areas is what they've got to do more of.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's Cooper now fires it out towards the right side. That's a great ball as well, and it's well taken down by Leonard. He has got a season support, but he turns it away. He's got space as well as Crooks. Finally comes across to cover him off, makes the challenge and sends it out for a throw-in. Crooks hasn't really shaken that one off though. He's come off of it pretty badly. He's just asked the referee to wait a moment there. Not sure if he's pulled something on the back of his leg. He's just trying to stretch it out at the moment. Not sure if it was because he sort of stopped all of a sudden. He's in a little bit of discomfort. He's going to try and carry on though for now without any help from the physios. Maybe a chance for Millwall to take advantage as well. With Hull's midfielder is not quite at full fitness. Throwing eventually is going to be taken by Leonard, who's had to wait a little bit of time to take it. He's waiting for the options. No one really making the runs. He's quite a bit of criticism from the Hull fans on the far side. Chance for Denore now, hits it on the half volley. In the end, it's a team effort though from the Belgian midfielder, and it's wide of the post.
Yeah, another one off target for Millwall. Need to start testing the goalkeeper a little bit more in this one. Alex Neil watching on, they'll be really happy. Like we said, this is two-legged football. I guess for Millwall as the away side, if you don't lose, perfect. Because you'll back yourselves at home, but if anyone's going to score a goal in this one, it is Millwall themselves. So I think their fans, I think their players, the staff will be happy so far.
Yeah, you've got to think about the bigger picture, haven't you, and how many minutes of football there is still left to play in this semi-final. So it's going Millwall's way for the time being, despite being goalless with 10 minutes left to play in the first half. Ball again goes forward from Hull. Sturge heads it down. It's not the greatest one that's picked up by Slater. Heavy touch, so now Denore can take advantage of that. Knocks it back towards Cooper. They're going to look to spring the attack. It's looking open again in the midfield for Hull. Denore this time trying to spread the ball out wide. It's really poor though from the Belgian midfielder this time. He's got that sort of pass in his locker. Was looking for Aziz as well to link up, but does it straight out of play for a goal kick, which is taken quickly by Panda. As Kieran mentioned, not really had a save to make so far. The Croatian goalkeeper, most of his action has just been taking goal kicks and maybe dealing with the odd set pieces. Coyle again is brought down there by Ballo. It's an interesting battle that's playing out. It's Ballo who's committing the majority of the fouls and trying to go for the tackles. It's going to have to be spoken to as well by the referee, Gavin Ward. He's just overstepping the mark. I don't think he's got too many more in him before he's shown a yellow card, which we haven't seen one so far in this game. Not been too many fouls. The game's flowed fairly nicely up until this point without too many big chances. Egan taking a long time before eventually launching this free kick up towards the back edge of the box. McBurney loses out in his battle to crime this time. He heads it behind him for Leonard. Aziz should now pick the ball up. He does so as well. Ball on the floor towards Denore. Sent forward and Coburn's got space to try and turn and run into. He's waiting for options to arrive and he gets one as well in the form of Denore. There could be a good chance here for Millwall if they play it right. Nasri with the ball out wide. It takes Aziz a little bit wider than he'd like, but he'll still put the ball in. It's deflected. Giles will now get it clear for Crooks, and again there, that was a decent chance for Millwall. Space was opening up on the counter-attack. It wasn't made the most of. They've won it back though now, and it's Denore again on that right side. Crooks slides in though. I have to say it's not been the greatest few minutes for Casper Denore.
No, it hasn't. A couple of misplaced passes, but he's trying the risky balls. That's poor from Liam Miller as well. A rare breakaway chance for Hull, and he's just slowly dribbling with it. Easy footing in the end from Leonard. We now see possession back with Millwall. They just can't have anything in this game. Hull at the moment really struggling.
Yeah, can't really get as much of a foothold as they like. Ball again goes forward. That's brought down brilliantly by Coburn. He's got the support as well. Ballo on the edge of the box now. Turns and shoots as well. Maybe the selfish option. They still want a set piece as a result of it's deflected off of Charlie Hughes, but Aziz was free to his right.
Yeah, he was, but once again, they're just hitting it from distance, aren't they? Millwall, they're not really thinking too much about it. The ball bounces for them and they think, yeah, let's have a go. And yeah, he probably should have played that out to Aziz, but they get a corner.
Yeah, they do get a set piece as a result of it. It's taken probably by far and away the biggest chance of this match so far. In fact, no, this is the other chance for Ballumi. The shot on the edge of the area, which still remains. And I think one of the only shots on target in this game. Yes, it is as well. Hull have had 2 shots, 1 on target. Millwall have now had 8 attempts in this game. Still yet to get one at Pandor though. 14 touches in the opposition box compared to the 5 of Hull City. So they've been getting the ball up the pitch more than Hull. Been having the lion's share possession as well. It's 60-30 now in the favour of the South London side. Sergej Karovic won't mind that though. I already mentioned about how Hull are happy to let other teams have the possession and then just to try and take their chances when they come to them. We've not had 2 minutes to speak of though so far. It's been tense as you might expect. In the first leg of a playoff semi-final. It could take a little bit of time for Hull City to really find their feet in this one. Looking to do that now as Crooks wants to send it down the line. He's on a different wavelength though to Liam Miller in the end. He's not even making his run down the left side as Crooks sends that ball forward. It's a little bit desperate in the end from the midfielder. Gets appreciated as well by his teammates. We're not happy with it, judging by their reaction. Headed up in the air this time by Aziz. Denore now finds Coburn. That's great hold-up play to hold it off of Slater. Aziz, heavy touch, but plays it off of Giles. It's somehow staying in play. McBurney's got the run here on Kramer. Frenchman eventually does well with it. He sends it out for a throw-in under some immense pressure, though, from Hull City's striker. Thinks about taking a long throw-in. Not a quick throw-in, I should say, but Popper does the smart thing and lays it back towards Miller. 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Still goalless at the MKM Stadium. Can that change though in the final few moments of this one? Hull City have got a throw and it's going to go long as well from Liam Miller. John Egan is being sent forward into the box for this one. Charlie Hughes is there as well. What can the delivery be like from the Canadian? In it comes from Miller. It's towards the near post. Headed away by Kramer out towards Slater on the edge of the box who Takes a swipe at it. It's deflected though, moved out towards the right side where Balumi will now pick it up. It goes around the inside of Nasely as well. Still got the ball. Has the Algerian up towards the centre now. Will go for a goal as well. It's not the worst effort from Balumi. It's probably been Hull's most dangerous attacking player so far in this game. Just can't quite wrap his foot around it enough though.
Yeah, he's had all of their shots so far, Balumi. He's had all three for Hull City. One of them hitting the post, one of them testing Anthony Patterson, and the other one going miles high and wide, which is the one that we've just seen. Once again, he picks it up, and all he ever wants to do is cut inside onto that left and create a chance or a shooting chance for himself. But yeah, they're not creating proper chances for the likes of Gelhardt and McBurney.
Yeah, those two have really been anonymous, haven't they, so far in this one? It's been tough for them to really get involved, and when McBurney's gone on the ball, he's not exactly been that impressive. A few misplaced passes. Gelhardt has had that chance in the box where he slipped over. McBurney has absolutely clattered Matsu Sako there. That's going to be a free kick as well, much to the dismay of the Hull players and fans as well, and that stand over on the far side. But the Frenchman, it looked like he did sort of just get bulldozed in the air there by McBurney. The ball was going to fall back to a Millwall player regardless. We'll see the slow-up replay now as well, and yet McBurney not really even going for the ball there. It's not the greatest challenge from the Scottish striker. He leaves one in on the midfielder who stayed down as a result of it. I think he's just winded more than anything here. Is Matsu Sako. You already mentioned about the long injury that he'd had for Millwall that maybe hampered his game time. McBurney is bemused as to why Matsu Sako has stayed down. It was pretty clear though from the challenge that he made on him that it was quite a heavy one. Matsu Sako just getting a talking to. Sorry, McBurney is getting a talking to from Gavin Ward. He's not happy about the decision from the referee, but he's going to have to play on regardless. As we enter the final 2 minutes now nearly of this first half. It's looking like we are going to enter the break goalless unless something changes right at the death here. Matsu Sako is now back up to his feet. The free kick can be taken for Millwall. Looks like they're going to go along with it as well and send it straight into the area. Matsu Sako is holding his chest at the moment. Certainly looked like he got winded as a result of it. He's just trying to run the ball off though. This free kick can be floated and it's going to be Leonard to take it for Millwall. Can send the players forward. It is inside at the Hull half. It's floated in towards the edge of the box. Cooper wins the header. It's knocked down as well. Can Kramer get there? He can't because the referee has already blown his whistle for a free kick. That's happening quite a lot, isn't it, so far in this game? They're getting those set pieces, but every time it's a free kick and it just disrupts the game.
Yeah, it is. We've seen quite a few from Millwall, like you said, from the set pieces. It's just players like Kramer, players like Jake Cooper are just a little bit over-aggressive, trying to keep the attacks alive and trying to create chances themselves. They're almost climbing on them and marking them, aren't they? But we just see Panda ready to get us back. And you can't imagine there's going to be too much stoppage time in this one, maybe 2 minutes max. There's not really been any stoppages.
No, there hasn't at all. There's not been any real injuries in this one. That one for Matsu Sako there is probably the longest that a player has had to stay down, and in the end the physios weren't needed and treatment didn't have to be administered to Matsu Sako. As Pando sends this one long downfield. McBurney in a battle which he's lost again there to Cooper. He's ended up on the deck, but Hull might benefit as a result of that header. It's Crooks now charging forward down the left side. He finds Miller as well. Up towards the edge of the box now. What can he do? Goes round the outside. He runs it too much. Stop. He eventually plays it across goal, but the ball already out for a goal kick, and that's disappointing from Miller.
Does too much. In the end, Liam Miller, his touch is heavy again. We've just seen the pretty more simple stuff in attack just haven't gone for Hull at the moment. They've been really wasteful in those key areas in the final third, in the rare chances they've got there. I think they need a lot more control in this game. It's like they're just missing a confident midfielder in this game so far. I think Alex Neil will be the happier of the two bosses going into half time.
Yeah, he certainly will. As Patterson now launches this goal kick long, we're just waiting to see how much time is going to be added on at the end of this first half, but there could be a chance for Millwall in the meantime. Nasely has found space in the attacking third on the right side. He's got Aziz in support as well. He finds him, left-footed ball towards the near post. Just a single minute added on as Hughes heads that one out. It's going to be a throw-in though for Millwall right by the corner flag. This will be the final chance, you'd imagine, of this first half. Still goalless. Are we about to get the first goal of the playoffs though in the 25-26 season? It's going to be Aziz who's going to take it this time. It's usually been Leonard who's been on the long throw-ins, but we're going to let the Nigerian winger have a go at it this time instead. Again, Cooper, Kramer all up there. He does actually go short. He finds Leonard who turns from his man. He chips it towards the back edge of the box. It's easy for Pandor. That should be easy. He sort of drops it nearly at the feet of Josh Coburn at the end. He recovers it well, the Croatian though, and gathers it into his hands. Have Hull City got the time for a late counter-attack in this first half? McBurney sending it long, and once more it's an overhit pass and it's straight to the goalkeeper. Would imagine that's the last action of the first half. Patterson just slowing things down for the time being. Not going to look to find a teammate, and Gavin Ward in the end does blow the half-time whistle. It's still goalless at the MKM Stadium. Hull have maybe had the biggest chance of the game so far, coming in the opening 2 minutes with Bellumi, who hit the post. Millwall, though, have dominated possession. They've had more of the half chances, but as it stands going into the break, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0.
Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Bellumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium is Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully, the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully, the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully, the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully, the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first leg. It started very bright. Millwall has started pretty quickly. Hull counter-attacked in the opening 2 minutes, and Balumi, in a mazy run, struck the post. He's had all of Hull's 3 shots so far, but it's the away side, the side who finished third, that have been the better team, just haven't created the big chance so far. A lot of pop shots from distance. Hopefully, the quality improves for the second half. It's 0-0. Half-time at the MKM Stadium, it's Hull City 0, Millwall 0 in this playoff semi-final first. And we will leave that just there, because we're back underway at the MKM Stadium for this Championship playoff semi-final first leg. It's Hull City 0, Millwall 0. What was maybe for about 35 minutes a pretty dull affair. It started quite quick, both sides end to end, having a couple chances. Balumi crashing the post in the opening 2 minutes after a wonderful run. It was a little bit similar to the one I saw last night from MB Buendia for Aston Villa to create their first goal. Apart from, unlike that one, that Balumi actually took the shot on, and like I said, he hit the post. Hull have never really got going from that moment in the second minute. All 3 shots have been by Balumi, but the other 2 have been pop shots as well. Millwall, I mean, they played like the side that are in third place, didn't they, away from home in this one. They looked pretty good without creating any real good opportunities. I guess the message always is for the third place sides away from home in the first leg, don't lose, don't go and get hammered, and you've got a great chance, because they'll have all the confidence in the world. And we see Millwall straight back on the attack here as we see Sturge into the penalty area. He opens up, goes for goal, takes a deflection, and into the hands of Panda. Well, a quick start to the half from Millwall, starting as they left off. It's still myself, Kieran Graham, alongside Joshua Makin to bring you coverage of this one. And Josh, I mean, you wondered whether Hull had just ramp it up a little bit in this half, which they've still got a lot of time to do, but Millwall looking just as dangerous.
Yeah, they still are, and we're going to expect Millwall to control. There might be a free kick on the edge there. Nagley's going to take the shot on, but it's blocked out well by Egan in the air. But yeah, you are right. We'd have thought that Hull had tried to take the game to Millwall a little bit. They need to get a result. They can't be going to the den at 0-0, and the odds are really not in their favour then in that position. You've just said it, the third place team are always looking to get a draw out of this first leg, and that's how it's played out so far. It's been pretty cagey from Hull's perspective. We thought after that opening shot for Balumi that they were actually maybe going to take the game to Millwall and just pepper them with shots. It's not worked out like that. Millwall have been able just to calm themselves down, establish a foothold, and then they've just gone from there, but they're still not creating any massive chances of note. They've still looked in control of this one. They look comfortable. There might be a chance there for Hull though as they go down the right side. A bit of a shoulder check from Cooper. It doesn't result in a free kick, and play can resume.
Yeah, it can do. Balumi's gone down a few times, hasn't he, in this game, and he's not really got any of the decisions, it feels, so far. He's getting frustrated with the officials. I think Jukanovic was frustrated with the officials as well in the first half. So let's see how that pans out in this one as we see Kramer. He's going to drive forwards on the right-hand side. Ball down the line looking towards Coburn. But there's Giles who looks to clear his lines. It's well cleared all the way up towards Kramer. Leonard back to Kramer again. And once again, it's just very well settled from Millwall at the moment as we now see Patterson. He goes long up towards Coburn, whose hold-up play has been magnificent this game, hasn't it? And that's great hold-up play again. Balor a little bit short. There's a strong challenge on him. The referee's going to give a free kick against Balor for that chance. That seems a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, I thought it looked a bit weird at first, but the reaction from Balor maybe says that it's the right decision from the referee. He doesn't really protest it. He probably knows that he's committed the foul. It looked like Egan had slid in on Balor and committed the foul when actually it was the other way around. It's Egan who's been off worse after a result of it. It's a poor touch from Balor. Yeah, you can see from it as well. Egan comes through, he gets the ball. Balor is the man who then sticks his foot out afterwards. He does catch him, it sort of just scrapes down his shin. It's a bit of a painful one for Egan. He'll be able to walk it off by the looks of things. But half chance again for Millwall.
Yeah, certainly. Just one of those, it's all about the follow through in that situation, isn't it? Which is pretty unfortunate in that sense as we see the long ball go forwards. And it's going to go all the way up towards Kramer, who clears his lines. Coburn looking to hold it up. He gets the first point of contact again, but Crooks is there. Looks to turn away from his man, and then there's a hand up from Denora because he wants the decision. He's going to get it, so throwing goes the way of Millwall. Ball down the line looking for Aziz. Good footing from Giles. He then picks the pass in towards Crooks, and it's a sharp turn from him. Ball down the line's decent as well, but it's just a bit of a hit. I thought Miller could have got there. I feel like he's given up on that when he didn't really need to. That's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's not had much service so far in this game, Liam Miller. He's been quiet, but I thought he could have gotten that as well. He didn't look too far away from him. If he just sort of runs onto it a little bit more and doesn't give up on it, then he's got a good chance there. He looked frustrated with himself in the aftermath of it as well. Maybe he knows deep down that he could have probably kept that ball in play. He would have been surrounded by a few Millwall defenders, and then it would have been a much harder task. But yeah, a little bit of a waste for Hull City. Cameron's again just focusing in there on Josh Coburn. Interestingly, 8 of his 9 goals scored in the Championship this season have all come away from home, so these are the sort of games that he thrives in.
Yeah, just see Sturge with a poor touch in the end as it's touched all the way down and it goes into the path of throwing for Hull City. We see Alex Neil just look to the ground in a little bit of frustration there. And now we see Giles on this left-hand side. He looks for a ball in behind. It's a nice ball as well, looking towards Miller, who's going to potentially get there ahead of Leonard. Good defending from Leonard in the end, who just boots it away to clear his lines. Now it's McBurney battling for it. Kramer is up there. Crooks wins it. McBurney recycles it to the right-hand side. He finds Louis Coyle. Is he going to hit it from distance? Yes, he is, and it's not a terrible strike. It's rising, though, and goes just over the bar, but that's a little bit better.
Yeah, it was worth a go, wasn't it, there from Louis Coyle. He wasn't really being closed down too much by the defenders. Ballo was coming across, and it's not a million miles away as that from maybe just going in off the underside of the bar. Keeper sort of knew, I think, that it was going over. Anthony Patterson doesn't throw his full weight into that save. He just sees it going over and sort of pulls out the last second because he knows it's probably just going to be a goal kick anyway. But yeah, definitely worth a go there from the Hull City captain.
Yeah, absolutely worth the go in the end. Yes, it goes a bit over the bar, but it was much better from Hull City as we now see the ball go out of play for throw-in. Cameras linger on Louis Coyle, the Hull captain. They've not had too many chances. Like we've said, it's all been Bellumi down the right side.
Yeah, it has. He's been good so far as Bellumi. He's looked lively. He's looked more positive, hasn't he, than the other Hull attacking players, which is maybe a surprise. You could maybe look at him as maybe the weaker of that front four, especially compared to Gellert and McBurney, who's been so effective this season. But he's looked positive so far as the Algerian. He's looked to take the shot on when it's come to him. Cook's dragged down there. Hull've got a free kick in a decent position. Yeah,
free kick for Hull, and Denora is kind of just waving his arms around saying why. And how, and he's been yellow carded for it 52 minutes into this one, and Denora can't quite believe what it's being given for. We're seeing it back again. Crooks it's kind of just crawling on his back a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, yellow card probably seems just about fair because Crooks is on the attack. He's in behind Denora, and it's probably the right decision. Just oversteps the mark, doesn't he, as we just see the confirmation of that yellow card given. And we wait for this free kick to be taken by Ryan Giles. And Giles is the man over it. Just waiting for any potential delivery to potentially find the head of a teammate. Giles still whips it in, and it's a terrible delivery. Again, another waste going forwards for Hull. Easily headed away by Mazu Saka. It's going to be recycled to the left. Crooks knocks it down, and once again he knocks it down nowhere near a teammate. And Hull, attacking-wise, have been so frustrating.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, Ryan Giles is arriving around the back there. I'm not sure if it's miscommunication from the Hull players, but Crooks takes it away from him, and it goes out for a throw-in. So it'll be a waste of an attack, and the set piece just before from Ryan Giles is disappointing. You know, this is a player who's, in my eyes, got one of the best crosses in the division, especially with that left foot. He's unopposed for that one. It's just a poor delivery. Again, we've said it. You know, if Hull are going to get any joy in this game, they need service to go to that front four. And Giles, he's had a good cross at the start of the game, and he's not really followed it up since then.
Yeah, he hasn't. As you see Miller coming forwards now, he's driving with it. Puts a ball into the area. Once again, it's overhit. Wow, Hull have been so poor in the final third, haven't they? They've been really, really poor at times, as we see Jakirovic just almost stomping and stropping his way back to his seat on the bench, because he'll be really frustrated with certain moments in attack, because once again it's super wasteful.
It really is. I mean, it's disappointing. These are good attacking players, and it just looks like maybe the occasion's getting the best of them. Can't really put your finger on it. Of course, it's a massive game for the club. They've been nowhere near the Premier League since their relegation a few seasons ago now, and this is a big occasion for them. It's just sort of looking to get to them, but they've got the ball again.
Yeah, and here come Hull once again down the right hand side. They look better overall. They seem to be giving it a bit more to Millwall. Just got to make it count. Crooks ball into the penalty area. He's overhit again. Miller should be able to keep that one alive, though, as he does get there. He takes poor touches. And once again, it's just a letdown in terms of quality. Yeah,
the quality's just left them in this second half, hasn't it? Especially, it was happening in the first, but they just can't seem to put one good cross into the box. This time it's Matt Crooks, who's maybe not a natural player that you want on that right side there, putting the ball into the box, but he just gets way too much on it. He's asking a lot of Miller, who probably could do a little bit better, but I think he's let down by the initial cross.
Yeah, he is. I think his touch should be better, though, shouldn't it? Trying to keep it in play as a professional left winger. We also know the quality of Liam Miller that we've not seen yet, but we've seen from his time at Preston in the past as well. Of course, he spent a little bit of time with Liverpool, granted, getting no real opportunity at senior level, but you've got to be a decent player to be on the books, don't you? As cliche as that sounds, as we now see the ball in the hands of Giles, ready to take this throw-in. He's going to potentially launch it down the line. 55.5 minutes on the clock. Giles does take the throw-in. He goes down the line, flicked on by McBurney. A little shove in the back of Hughes. The referee waves for play to continue. And it's going to be on the head of Coburn. And it's into the middle of play. Slater's battling away. Denore gets there. Sharp turn from Aziz that goes out for a throw-in once more. He's throwing ready to be taken for Millwall. It felt like throwing simulator watching the first half, didn't it? Mainly for the visiting side, who had about 1 million throw-ins, it felt, between Sturge and Leonard. As you see this throw-in going down the line once again towards Coburn, but he's not really anywhere near the ball in the end, as it's easily headed away by Crooks, but straight back into the path of Millwall. Cooper hooks it long and goes to the right-hand side. Aziz wins his header. That's poor defending from Giles, who struggled up against Aziz today. And the clearance once again is up for another Millwall throw with Leonard in possession. He's going to throw it back inwards towards Naisley, who turns away from his man. Switch of play just about reaches Sturge ahead of Bellumi. Sturge is up against him, cuts inside with it. Bellumi sticks a foot in. Good challenge from him, and there's Gelhardt. And then a free kick goes against Bellumi. Seems a little bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier on in the half, didn't you, that he was getting a lot of decisions going against him. That's the case there again with Gavin Ward giving the free kick away. I didn't think he did too much wrong there. The Algerian, maybe just, it's that sort of pull of the shirt, isn't it, as he's trying to keep up with Sturge. He doesn't hold it for long at all, granted, but that's what Gavin Ward sees, and he thinks it's enough for a free kick. Again, it's going to be Aziz taking it over on that far side. They've got the players in the box to be able to get on the end of this. It's all about the delivery.
Yeah, they certainly do, as they wait for this delivery to be taken for Millwall. As he's the man over it. They've wasted a few set pieces by committing fouls in this one. Ball whipped in towards the back post. It evades everybody. Denore trying to keep it in play. He can't. It's a decent delivery though. Yes, it's evaded everybody and gone out for a throw-in, but Nobody can meet it in the end.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic ball in from Femi Aziz. It's right on the money. See Leonard battling with Hughes there. He just sort of maybe slips at the last second. Kramer doesn't attack it as well to his full potential. It's not a bad ball in there from Femi Aziz. The sort of delivery that Hull have been lacking for a lot of this match so far. But yeah, in the end, going to be throwing to Hull.
Yeah, throwing to Hull. Getting ready to come up now. As you see the ball on the right-hand side for Coyle. He plays it down the line for Balumi. And Balumi's going to have a drive at Sturge. He's still going, he's Balumi. Good run from him. He's then taken down by Sturge. And once again, he's not going to get the decision from the referee. There's frustrations from Balumi. He finally wanted to just drive it. His man take him down the channel. It looked like he had the better of him for pace, didn't it? But he doesn't get the decision.
I don't think it's a free kick as well. I don't think there's too much in that one there from Balumi. Maybe a little bit of contact, but I don't think it's enough to bring him down when he's running through like that. He's wanted that all afternoon, though, all evening, I should say, to try and get one-on-one with Sturge. He has got the better of him for pace. Sturge maybe just a bit stronger, though. That's what wins him that battle in the end.
Yeah, you now see the ball go up towards Coburn. Hughes finally wins a battle against him, which I feel like the centre-halves have struggled against Coburn so far. Crooks sliding in, it ricochets elsewhere. And we now see the ball with Mazu Saka, who we've been impressed with so far in this game, myself and Josh. He's looked pretty good in midfield for Millwall. A real almost anchor in midfield. You see the ball on the right-hand side. It's now going to be Aziz driving forwards. He's still once again cutting inside. He's been taken down. He doesn't get the free kick, and referee not buying any of it. Bit of frustrations there from Aziz, but once again he was battling with Crooks, who feels like he's getting amongst it in this half, is Matt Crooks.
Yeah, he's putting himself about, isn't he? I think this is a brilliant tackle as well. He's from behind like that, so he's got to time it right, otherwise he's probably going to give away a free kick. It's risky from Hull in the first place. You cannot let Femi Aziz have that sort of time and space out on the right wing. He doesn't really utilise it in the end. He's not sort of sprinting towards the edge of the box. He's sort of just moving up towards it slowly, maybe waiting for other options to present themselves. So it's a bit risky from Hull, but Cooks with a good recovery. Is McBurney now?
Yeah, McBurney on the right-hand side. A lot of space in the middle, looking for Liam Miller, who touched it behind. He should have gone for goal himself. He goes down wanting a penalty, and the referee saying there was an offside in the build-up. Well, Liam Miller will probably be feeling a little bit relieved, because why has he not just gone for goal as he's met it in the area? He's tried to be clever. Yeah,
he's tried to be selfless as well. Maybe that's what he'll say, but I'm not sure that pass is ever really on. It's great play from McBurney getting away down the right. We'll see the replay now. He is offside. We can still see from the rugby markings of the pitch that he is offside. Maybe, just wants to touch it back, but Balumi's not really close enough. He's not even in a better scoring opportunity. He's better off maybe taking it with his right foot. He'll be relieved in the end to see the offside flag. I mean, it's one of the first times we've seen Hull getting behind Millwall's defence like that since the opening stages of the game, and can't quite make the most of it in the end.
Yeah, positives to be had. That is for sure, but yeah, a little bit of frustration from Hull. You definitely feel like they've been the better side in this second half without creating proper chances. There's Gelhardt trying to dance his way through the Millwall setup. Leonard goes down, taking a touch off McBurney, who can't believe the decision. But yeah, once again, it just looked like McBurney found him, didn't it? As we see the free kick given the way of Millwall again. And Jurkovic watching on. Once again, you can never really guess what he's thinking, can you? He's quite the poker face for him.
Yeah, he's quite a character as well, isn't he, on the sideline now. We've already seen him sort of strutting about and putting himself about there, making his feelings known. We're deep in thought at the moment. I mean, what is the plan really for Hull? Do they throw the players forward? Do they try and make the most of this home advantage, as we keep saying? Or maybe do they just settle in for a point and then you'll look to hit Millwall at the den? It's going to be so hard for them to do that, though. Is the free kick taken long towards the edge of the box? Yeah,
free kick taken now, as we now see Sturge in possession, plays it to the right hand side, and it's going to be with Nesley. He finds in the midfield for Leonard. Leonard turns away, finds Mazu Saka again, turns away from Crooks this time. We now see Nesley, who takes a risk trying to take on Miller as the last man. He finds Mazu Saka, who's got options to the left. He finds Ballo, who's left a little bit to be desired in this game, hasn't he, on the left-hand side. It was actually Sturge in possession that time, as we now see Kramer. He's going to bomb forwards with it. Kramer, is he going to hit it from distance? He is, and he puts it miles over the bar.
Yeah, you could see that one coming a mile off there, couldn't you, from Kramer. The defender lining up a shot there from 35 yards. It's going to take something special, and I think we knew what the end result was going to be there. Gelhardt pressing him nicely, and it's always rising well into the stands in the end, just starting to maybe think about substitutes in this game. I mean, Alex Neil's face says 1,000 words there as Kramer takes that shot, and he can't believe the Frenchman has gone from it in that position. But as I was saying though, maybe substitutes coming into it. As we say, Ballo has left a lot to be desired. He's not really been in the game on that left side. And there maybe, for the likes of Tom Watson, something fresh off the bench. Barry Bannon, of course, not starting in this game. Do they maybe think about getting him on? Nagley as well. He's not really done too much so far. I don't think any of the managers will be rushing into any changes so far, but they will certainly be thinking about it.
Yeah, probably not. Not at the moment. Anyways, we see Anthony Patterson in possession. He's going to look for options to the left-hand side. He finds a decent ball. And there's going to be a hooked ball forwards looking for Coburn. Coburn turns away from his man. It's good strength. He's been brilliant, hasn't he, Coburn? He was fantastic when I watched him against Middlesbrough. It felt like he was playing with a bit of a point to prove against his former club. But, I mean, target men are, once again, we talked about this trend of throw-ins. I think teams are liking the almost young, athletic, tall strikers at the moment. I mean, Coburn, he's winning everything up there. He's just almost, he's not had a chance yet, which is what strikers want. But, I mean, Alex Neil will be so happy with his performance.
Yeah, we'll be absolutely delighted. I mean, he deserves a big chance, doesn't he, in this game from his link-up play. I mean, it works so well with that Millwall attack. You have got those quick wingers, haven't you? Likes of Femi Aziz, Nagley as well. Then Ballot, that can all sort of run in and play off of him. We've not quite seen the wingers get close enough to him so far for that to happen. Well, that's not to the fault at all of Josh Coburn. Fantastic performance so far. Battled really well against likes of Hughes and Egan, who have been two fantastic centre-backs in the division this season. Just needs to keep at it, really, keep being a nuisance, and eventually it's something will fall his way.
Yeah, it definitely will. It absolutely would fall their way. As we see Crooks battling with Denore, who slides it across towards Leonard. Leonard hooks it down the line. That's going to go out of play for a throw-in. As Alex Neil watches on, I think no matter what, Alex Neil, unless something drastic changes, he'll look and go, right, well, we're not going to get hammered in the scoreline today. That's one huge positive. I think it'll look really good. Like we said, we're watching a side who finished just 1 point off automatic spots. Of course, Ipswich got that second spot. Look at the difference in squads, the difference in budget. I mean, they've done fantastically well, haven't they, Millwall, to be there. But they haven't been able to really convert the dominance so far. I wouldn't say they've had a great chance in this game, which is the only downside to it. But it is still 0-0. Still a lot of football to be played in this one. As we see a ball down the line, ball into the area from Hull City, is well cleared away by Jake Cooper. And what a touch from Josh Coburn, who's going to drive forwards himself. He's still going, and then it's a great shimmy away from his man. He plays a nice ball onto the left-hand side for Ballo, who makes a mess of it. He's definitely been the weaker, hasn't he, of this Millwall side, has Ballo. But what a little bit of shimmy in play that was from Coburn. Coburn, who's impressed us both massively.
Yeah, I think he's probably a good shout for one of the man of the matches so far in this game, which is weird to say because it's 0-0 and he's the striker, but I think he's been absolutely sensational. He's probably going to be frustrated as well with the lack of support from his team. It's exactly what I was just talking about a few moments ago, that they're not close enough to him. They're all way back and then they're trying to sprint forward and get to him. Well, at the time that happens, the whole players have got round him. There's nothing else he can really do in that position there, Coburn. He needs his wingers to help him out a little bit more. The chances might start flowing more for Millwall.
It's now see Kramer in possession. Switch of plays, a nice one for Sturge, who just needs to almost block the vision. I think he's been caught offside, which is quite the shame. A couple of changes are going to be coming on for Hull City. It's going to be Harakwa and Kyle Joseph getting ready to be prepared. Be interesting to see who makes way. I think Harakwa is going to add a little bit more pace. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes on for Liam Miller, because we know that Liam Miller is a good player, or he can be a good player. We've really not seen it today. No, we haven't. I mean, the rare occasion that he's finally been able to get a run at Leonard, he's not been able to do absolutely anything. He's just ran out of play a few times. He's not been able to link up with Gallart and McBurney. They've all been really quiet, that whole forward line. Disappointing for them in this home game as well. We'll see if it is going to be them who are replaced. Maybe they'll sacrifice a defensive play and go more attacking, but that's some good work there from Balumi. Yeah, and then he finds Joe Gelhardt, tries to work it onto his left boot. I bet Gelhardt was kicking himself at half-time, wasn't he, about that slip in the first half. What a chance it could have been for him. As you see the forward ball go in behind towards Nagley. He turns away from his man. Crooks is driving back completely up against Nagley, who finds Femi Aziz. Step overs up against Giles. Looks for a ball into the area. Too close to Panda, who takes it down. And is going to potentially bowl it out to the right-hand side. He does. But I think we're starting to see a bit of a change in urgency from Hull. It's almost like they feel, right, we are actually the home side in this first leg. Let's try and make advantage where we can, because they seem a little bit more desperate to get on the front foot.
Yeah, I think it's starting to hit home, isn't it? The situation they find themselves in. I mean, they're lucky they're not like a Bristol City or anything like that last season against Sheffield United, where they got a red card and they were eventually beaten. They're still well within this playoff tie if they can get the 0-0, but they just know going to the Den is going to be such a big ask to try and win at that stadium. It's going to be absolutely rocking, really intimidating place to go. You know, at the best of times is the Den. For a playoff semi-final when they're so close to the Premier League, it's going to be a massive ask for those Hull players. A lot of them have not been in this sort of position. McBurney has, he's got that sort of experience, but a lot of them haven't really. Now they need to try and get something, but at the same time, that's going to open up space for Millwall on the attack.
Yeah, it certainly will. Millwall look a pretty decent side, like we've said, to maybe try and punish things like that. As Nasley's going to hit one from distance, he's crashed the post, and it's one of those. He's hit it from about 28 yards out. And it's just dribbled across the surface the whole time. He gets a fair whack of power on it, but it doesn't leave the ground. And it just crashes the post and behind for a goal kick. It's not a terrible effort. I don't think he wanted to hit it like that. When you hit it from distance, you're aiming for the top corners, aren't you? But it doesn't leave the ground. But I tell you what, it hits the post, and that was a bit of a scare, and it will be Liam Miller to make way.
Yeah, no surprise, but what an effort that was. A good, decent enough effort. I just can't believe the defending from Hull City, really, to allow them in like that. I mean, you're letting a great attacking player onto his left foot. You're showing him the inside way. You're just asking for trouble in that situation. Slater and Crooks aren't close enough to them. And in the end, it's a bit of a let-off there for Hull City. The double change has been made. Bellumi and Miller are making way, so they're taking off both their wingers.
Yeah, both wingers about to make way. Carl Joseph on as well, so three very forward-thinking players in McBurney, Joseph and Gelhardt, who can all play up front, as we see McBurney battling up against Denora. He plays it to the left for Hirakwa. His first touches of the game. He takes it down the channel even more. He whips in a dangerous ball. There's McBurney with a header, and he puts it wide. He's adamant there should be a corner. He's not going to get it. But a first real introduction for Hirakwa, and it's the first time he's put a chance in for, or the first time anyone has put a chance in for McBurney, it feels.
Yeah, what an impact that would have been there from Hirakwa. I mean, it's a brilliant ball, and he's probably done more than what Liam Miller did for the entire game before this in just a few seconds. That is a wonderful cross to the near post. It's what Ollie McBurney thrives off of. He's a bit cheeky, asking for a corner out of that one as well. It clearly comes off his head. He accepts it as well. He even slaps himself as a result of it. He knows he probably should do better with a chance like that. He's not had many in this game. Ollie McBurney needs to at least get that on target.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. But with that, 70 minutes on the clock, we've reached the halfway stage of the second half. We're just going to wait and see if Millwall could have created a chance there, but the cross is well cleared away. But it is still 0-0 between these two sides, and it will be Josh to take you through to full time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kieran. Around Millwall on the attack now. It's Ballo who's trying to turn inside. It's a good sliding tackle, though, again from Matt Crooks, who I think has had a really good second half performance, in all fairness to him. There's a clear push on the back there on Ollie McBurney. Justin Kramer is trying to appeal to the referee. That is about as blatant as a foul you'll see. I think he's lucky not to go into the book for that one as well. Obviously, Casper Denore is still the only player to have been booked in this game. Kramer can find himself lucky that he hasn't joined him there. Clear push in the back there on Ollie McBurney, but Hull have got things back underway. Here's Joseph over on that far side, the other substitute that's just come on. He's trying to put an early ball into the box. It's missed by Cooper. McBurney was lurking, couldn't quite get there in front of Kramer. Millwall have got it cleared. Only as far as Crooks. It's now Giles and then out to Harikawa. Wants to move it inside. He does so as well. It's Slater now, about 30 yards from goal. This is better from Hull City. Coyle now. Cross comes into the box, deflects it all. I think it's come off a hand. They're not going to get the free kick they want. They've still got possession though. Joseph now with the overlapping run for Coyle. Cross comes in. McBurney's there as well. Kramer with some good header away. It's going to go straight out for a throw in. And Hull City in the last few moments just starting to look a little bit better.
Yeah, starting to go for it a bit more, and I think that's going to get the crowd on side as well, because yeah, you'd want a double advantage, a 2-goal advantage to go to the away leg, but they'd absolutely take the 1 goal. That is for sure. To something to look to try and protect at the Den. So yeah, they've got to go for it. Of Hull, they really do.
Coyle back towards Gelhardt now, trying to get himself more involved in the game. He's played it off of Ballo and out for a throw-in. Coyle's just about in line with the 18-yard box. Millwall going to look to respond immediately with a change on their own. It's Luke Cundle who's getting ready to come on. He'll have to wait though, as Hull have got the game back underway. Joseph trying to make inroads down the right side. He plays it off of Serge out for another throw, and this one's more towards the corner flag. It's taken quickly as well by Coyle towards the feet of Joe Gellhart, moving it onto his left foot, back to Coyle as well, who's in space. Cross comes in as well, high and looping into the box. Hiriko wants to get there, it's headed clear only as far as Gellhart. Pass down into the ground, but he finds Slater regardless. It will come in now towards the back post from Hughes. McBurney is lurking. He sort of thinks he's dragged back there, always asking a lot of the Scottish international. Just like to see Joe Gellhart get a little bit more involved. It's actually the defender who's put the cross in. It's not a bad ball at all from Charlie Hughes, but again, McBurney was always overstretching himself.
Yeah, he was. He was on the full stretch the whole time, wasn't he? A couple of changes coming on. It's actually going to be Barry Bannon and Luke Cundle ready to come on. It's going to be Denore. I wonder whether it's going to be a straight double swap in midfield. I'd leave Mazu Sacco on, but he's had his injury problems, of course, so let's see if he's going to make way. And it's going to be Ballo who makes way. Probably makes sense. Maybe they're just trying to stay a bit more solid, Millwall, for the remainder. I think if you offered them a 0-0 in this, they'd have snapped your hand off.
Yeah, they absolutely would. I mean, it gives them the advantage, you'd say, going into that home leg. Hull are going to respond with a change of their own. Joe Gellhart is going to make way. It's been a quiet evening for him. Joe Gellhart is replaced by the number 26, Kieran Dowell. And I was quite looking forward to watching Joe Gellhart. I think he's a really entertaining player and brilliant on the ball. Never properly got a chance at Leeds under Daniel Farker. He's just not really been able to influence the game that he can do tonight.
No, he hasn't. It's not been the best from Joe Gellhart in that sense. Of course, that slip, you can tell it's almost played in his mind a little bit in this one, because he certainly could have played a lot better. But yeah, he's raced his run. And let's see if Kieran Dowell can make his impact. Kieran Dowell, a lot more experience, very different players. Yes, they play very similar positions, almost off of the striker. But Kieran Dowell a little bit more technical, a little bit slower, a little bit less raw, whereas Joe Gellhart, you always know he's always got that moment of magic, whereas you know what you're going to get from Kieran Dowell as well. He's going to link up with the wingers a little bit better. He's going to link up with the striker that bit better.
Yeah, just one goal in the Championship so far this season for the substitute Kieran Dowell. If he wants to double his tally, it'll come at one of the most important times, of course, for a few Championship clubs in his time, like Birmingham, Norwich City as well. He was there for a few years. Derby County, Wigan Athletic, Nottingham Forest as well. Sheffield United. He's had a lot of clubs, to be fair. To say that he is still only 28 years of age, it feels like he's been around for a long time. Millwall have got a chance now at the other end. It's Aziz on that left foot. It's on target and it's forced into a save. He went through a number of bodies in the end. Panda must have seen that one late. There's so many people in the way of him. It's a good stop there in the end by the Croatian, and that's what happens when you let Femi Aziz get on that left foot. He's always capable of finding the corner, but Panda in the way of it.
And look where it comes from again. It's Coburn just holding it up, bullying the centre halves. It's such a difficult, or such a tight angle, isn't it? But because it goes for a couple of bodies, it's tricky for Panda to watch the whole way, and it moves, it skids off the turf, which makes it a little bit harder as well. But Josh Coburn in the build-up again, he's just muscling his defender, holding it up and picking the pass. He's been brilliant up front for Millwall. He's been outstanding, but a big save.
Yeah, I think it's a really good stop that from Panda. Sort of where he's put it afterwards as well. There's Luke Cundle who's running on to the end of it, and maybe he's going to put that in for the rebound, but he just palms it away from the Millwall substitute. So 14 minutes left to play. It remains goalless, but both sides are just starting to maybe step up things a little bit. Hull City have realised that they really could do with that goal advantage going into the second game at the Den in midweek. Absolutely massive for them if they've got something to defend. Here's Nageley though now, again popping up between the two centre-backs, which he has done quite often throughout in this game. He finds Barry Bannon, of course, who's one of the other substitutes who's come on, who seems to have moved over towards that left side in place of Ballo. Drifting inside though as well now. Here's Aziz, he plays it off of Kieran Dowell before they've been thrown to the floor. No free kick's going to be given as Panda comes just outside of his box to send it long down the left channel. It's a great ball as well to find Harikoa, but he lets it bounce. He still gets his header there ahead of Aziz. They want a free kick. Hull City. Sergej Jakurovic is absolutely furious with that one. He's bounding out of his technical area. He's not going to get the decision he wants though from Gavin Ward as Harikoa beats Leonard to that header. Here's Giles now just by the touchline. Cross comes in from deep. It's almost on target in the end. Not sure whether he was trying to catch the goalkeeper out there, Ryan Giles. His crossing has been a little bit hit and miss so far this evening for the standards that we usually expect of a player of his calibre. A few years ago when Middlesbrough were nearly promoted, he was absolutely fantastic on that left side. Brilliant crosses that he could put in. Here's Leonard done out for Millwall up the other end. Heavy touch, but they might get away with it still. It's Naisley who's trying to sort his feet out. Is he fouled there? He's not, by Matt Crooks, who can now advance forward. The game just starting to become a little bit stretched. Outside foot pass over towards Kyle Joseph, who's in space now. He keeps the ball in by the touchline. Sturgis trying to get back. Joseph with the ball from deep. It's asking a lot though. It comes off of Cooper in the end. Sturgis will take that to the corner flag, but it fell. Eventually sending it out for a throw, but the game definitely become more stretched.
Yeah, it has, which is good for... I don't know who that's good for, but you think Millwall could definitely capitalise on it, but Hull just need the space. They need the space to create chances, but with how sloppy they've been pretty poor in those attacking stages, but here comes Millwall.
Yeah, it could be a 4-3 if they play it right. Could be a chance as well. Connell inside the box. He just moves back onto his left. Nailey with the shot as well. He's put it wide. It feels like a waste that from Millwall. They had Hull exactly where they wanted them there. They had the defenders scrambling. You're thinking, I don't think the pass is that good to Luke Connell. It's sort of behind him and he has to come back on himself. It's a decent opportunity for Millwall. Again, not taken.
It's not a great pass to Cundle, but I tell you what, I think if there's a natural winger, they do a lot more with it. Yeah. Because he's in front of him, it's just slow. That's the problem. So, yeah, it's slightly frustrating from Millwall's point of view. I keep echoing these thoughts. He's so impressed with Mazu Sakho as well. He once again broke up play. Like I said, I can't say I've ever watched the young lad before. Like I said, he's missed a lot of this season through injury, but he just looks an absolute monster in midfield. Some real energy about him. We're just seeing him there. Once again, he's flown in. Yes, he's taken his own man out in the process, but it's a brilliant challenge. 21 years of age, 21 appearances this season, brought in from the second division of France.
Yeah, and he's really impressed, hasn't he, so far? There is Matsu Sakho, especially the sort of game that you want to be impressing in as well. The big semi-final like this just proves that you can do it in the big occasions. Got a plethora of young talent, haven't they, as well, Millwall? Obviously, Femi Aziz is well known at this point. Lots of good players, though. Ballo, as well as we've seen before, sort of goes against the old stereotype of Millwall, where they're just sort of a team you associate with being hard to beat, which they are, of course, but they've still got that bit of flair about them nowadays. They've got a good mix with it, still with the likes of Jake Cooper at the back, who can be an absolute nightmare for strikers and a real threat on set pieces. There's just a little bit of a break in the game at the moment. Nothing else going on, while Millwall ready yet another substitute. Substitute starting to come more often. I believe it's Alfie Doherty who's getting ready to come on as well for the Lions. He'll have to wait a little bit as Hull have eventually taken this throw-in. We're into the final 10 minutes at the MKM Stadium. It's still goalless in this playoff semi-final first leg. It's still well within the balance. Both teams now need to start thinking about the bigger picture. Whether Hull think it's absolutely crucial that they get that goal going into the game at the Den, or whether Millwall are more than happy with the 0-0 draw. You have to say this result definitely favours the away side. Kramer out, moving forward though for Alex Neil's side. He's made some good progress as well before he eventually finds Femi Aziz. Poor touch from him, but he plays it off of Giles and out for a throw-in. And the referee is just going to stop the game for a moment. He's running over towards the other side of the pitch. He's running over towards Ollie McBurney. He almost looks like he's squaring up to the referee. It's a bit of height difference between McBurney and Gavin Ward. I'm not really sure what McBurney's getting a talking to. He's probably been at it the whole game. He looks absolutely furious.
It's funny, isn't it? Because he's almost tried to play the big man act, and he's only started getting lippy as the referee runs away. In that sense, and this isn't a bad sub to have, is it? Alfie Doherty coming on for Zach Sturge. He's been up and down in this game. When I watch Millwall, I have a different opinion on him every game. Sometimes I think, well, he looks a bit suspect at the back. Sometimes I think, wow, he's got so much energy and he brings a lot to this Millwall side. Alfie Doherty's a great player, as we know from his time at Luton, and he's had a big injury, of course, as of late. Missed quite a few games in the running with a calf injury, but he's back to fitness. Played about 30 minutes in the final game of the season against Oxford, so he's going to be a big plus to have, especially from the likes of the set pieces. Yeah. We spoke about how important and how many goals they've scored. I wouldn't be surprised if he's created quite a few of them, 5 assists this season for Millwall. But they also operate with a ball whipped in, they head it back across the face of goal, and they almost play for the second balls in the penalty areas where they get goals from as well. So he's probably delivering all of them, so he's going to be key. Yeah,
it definitely is. Could be like a new signing for them at this stage of the season, just something different. Of course, was on the cusp of the England squad, wasn't he, not too long ago when he was at Luton Town. Bannon spreading the ball over the top. It's a good one as well. Nageley heads it down for Aziz on the edge of the area now. He's got a few players in the way, wants to get on that left foot. It's a heavy touch. It just allows Matt Crooks to get in front of him and make the clearance. It's only his father was Bannon who brings it down, finding Kundal out towards Doughty now. 3 substitutes starting to combine nicely for the away side. Here is Bannon though. Still 0-0. About 7.5 minutes left to go at the MKM Stadium. Doughty has been shown the other way in the end by the Hull defence. It's going to be chipped forward, looking for the likes of Coburn. This time he's not going to win his battle with John Egan. Egan can only do the minimum though and head that one out for a throw-in, which Doughty is going to take. This might be an issue at some point for Millwall. Josh Coburn is sort of holding his back at the moment. They'll be absolutely, hoping to God that he's not going to be withdrawn, maybe even miss that away leg, because it's going to be absolutely, the home leg, sorry. It's going to be absolutely crucial that they have him for the rest of the playoffs. Millwall lose the ball momentarily before Hull send it forward in search of Joseph. They've got it back on the ball though now. Alex Neil's team. It's Doughty in the middle, finds it across towards Leonard, back to Doughty as well, who's popping up in all sorts of areas of the pitch. Nice pass through the lines as well to find Kundal. Up against Slater, it's shown the other way and has to go back towards Barry Bannon. Doughty just getting the feeling that both sides are starting to maybe settle for the draw in this one. It's not a bad result for either of them. It's definitely a good result for Millwall and not for Hull City. Still well within this tie, just can't rule themselves out of it going into the second leg. Patterson is going to send it forward. It's up in search of Coburn. Wins it eventually. Doughty will hook it forward. It's headed back though by Louis Coyle, only towards Bannon, who's done a nice touch there to get away from Dowell. He's sprinting forward as well. Nice pass out towards Aziz again. Every touch there from Femi Aziz. I think he's been a bit hit and miss, to be honest, this evening. A lot of his touches quite heavy, and he's just allowed Giles to stick with him.
He's reliant on that left boot, doesn't he, Femi Aziz? I think he's been dangerous today. He's really dangerous when he's got real control of the ball up 1v1 against that fullback. But you've got to do a bit more with it, don't you? Which he hasn't been able to do so far. But a long throw ready to be launched in by Leonard.
Yeah, it certainly is. We'll see what they can do with this one. It's high and looping again from Leonard. McBurnett heads it back to where it came from though. Now back into the box. Coburn is battling quite intensely there. He's hooked it well. He's managed to keep the ball in place somehow. He's found the feet of Nageley as well. Takes a little bit of a push from Slater, but does find it for Aziz, who's on the left side now. He's moving towards the edge of the box, tries to put a low ball and it comes back to him. Chips it in this time. Leonard! And the goal's gone in as well. Or has it? I think it's been ruled out. Leonard celebrates, but it's been given as a foul in the box. A great finish from the Millwall man who got himself up there. Not sure what it's been given for in the end, but ultimately Gavin Ward disallows it.
It's for pushing and shoving in the area, so it's a big call because some of those can be quite soft. It's Kramer battling with Hughes. Oh, I tell you what, I think it's really harsh for Millwall because Hughes is almost pulling Kramer the same. They're both at it. That shouldn't be ruled out. I'm sorry, that's a big call, a huge call, and if you make a call like that, you've got to be spot on. Hughes and Kramer are pulling each other. I tell you what, all we saw of the challenge was almost the 2 seconds around when the goal went in. If they were going at it right before it, and if Kramer's pulled his man to get an advantage, then fair enough, but we've not really seen the build-up, have we? If it's based on the almost pushing and shoving right as Leonard's about to score, that's harsh. That's really, really harsh.
That is a massive decision given by Gavin Ward, and one that is probably going to be scrutinised and discussed quite a lot in the aftermath of this one. See, they're both at it. I don't think there's anything from Kramer that's unjust that what Charlie Hughes is doing. They're both at it. They're both pulling on the shirts. Maybe that's what Gavin Ward's just seen. That sort of final one from Kramer as well on the sidelines. He thinks his side have been done harshly over that. You have to agree as well. I think Millwall should be 1-0 up there. They have made a change though in the meantime. It's a like-for-like swap up front. Josh Coburn's evening is over. What a shift from the Millwall striker. We've been singing his praises throughout the game, and rightly so. I think he's been absolutely sensational for Millwall. He's going to be replaced by Ivanovic for the final few months. Again, a decent sub for Millwall to make. Shows the strength in depth and the quality of squad building that they've got going on down there in South London when they're able to bring the likes of Ivanovic, Doughty, Kundal all onto the pitch. And it's why they're probably finishing the better of the two sides now. They've got them superior substitutes that have changed the game for them. We haven't really seen much of Hirakawa since he first came on and put that ball into the box. Joseph's been quiet. Dowell as well has barely had anything. That might just be the edge actually in this tie.
Yeah, it certainly could. I mean, what a sub to have. Ivanovic is a great striker who's not been getting as many minutes this season under Alex Neil. I'm not really too sure why, but when you see Coburn's performances, maybe that tells you exactly why. The referee's just pausing play at the moment. We're seeing it back again. The goal that's just been ruled out. So Hughes is holding Kramer initially. I just don't see a foul in there. I really don't.
I just think it's a striker and defender battling for the ball, and both ended up on the pitch in the end. I mean, I think the reason they're showing us this many replays is they know that Gavin Ward might have got that one wrong. It's a huge decision. If Millwall don't make it to the playoff final, I think they might look at that as the moment where it got away from them. Hull have made another change in the meantime. Regan Slater is going to be replaced by the number 5, John Lundstrom. Probably a smart sub to make at this time in the game. A lot of experience has been promoted on the Championship, of course, with Sheffield United, so they can get through these sort of crucial moments in the season. We're nearing the final minute of normal time at the MKM Stadium, and it's still 0-0 between Hull City and Millwall. The first playoff game of the season, heading for a goalless draw as it stands. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come with the rest of the playoff semi-finals. It's still been not short of drama. We've of course seen the ball hit the back of the net in the last few moments. That goal being ruled out though for Leonard, and Alex Neil still looks really frustrated about that on the sidelines. Just having a look at the stats as well. I mean, Millwall have been completely dominant in terms of attempts, 14 compared to the 6 of Hull City. Only 2 on target though for the away side, 1 on target for Hull. That sort of explains it really. A lot of half chances for both sides. They haven't been clinical with the ones that they've been given. And that's why we're still yet to see the deadlock be broken. We'll probably take some confidence from the fact they're going into that game on Monday night. They have beaten Millwall already at the Den this season. They won 3-1 back in December, so they've done it this season already. Well, maybe a better side away from home as well, so that will give the Tigers confidence that they can make it to the playoff final. Always effective in playoffs as well. As Kieran mentioned, they've won promotion to the Premier League a few occasions. 2008, I believe, when Dean Windass scored that fantastic volley. Of course, Mo Diame against Sheffield Wednesday more recently in 2016. They're trying to hook the ball forward. It's brought down by Doughty. Cooper. And they'll see it for Doughty again. Looks like it's all just sort of maybe kicking off in the stands over on that far side between the away end and the Hull fans. Hopefully it doesn't overstep the mark though, as Millwall have got themselves a chance to sprint forward. It's going to be Ivanovic who goes for goal from range. It's worth taking. It's deflected off of Hughes though and behind for a corner.
They've not been shy of that, have they, today, Millwall? They've hit a lot of shots from outside the box, and Ivanovic, he just sits up. I don't know if that's because it's a bit poor defending from Hull in terms of they're letting them shoot. I guess it's worked, hasn't it, in that sense, because they've not been able to score or really test Panda from distance yet. But yeah, he sat up quite nicely. I think the bobble as well made it just actually maybe worked in his favour, because it meant, right, it's just bounced up. I can hit this with a little bit more dip on it as well. But yeah, it's a good block. Barry Bannon, the man over this.
Yeah, a great set piece taker as well. Barry Bannon, 4 minutes by the way, have been added on at the end of this one. Is there a time for a winner in this first leg? A lot of pushing, shoving going on inside that box. Bannon takes it towards the near post. Leonard gets a run, but it's headed away from him. It'll be picked up by Neji now. Moves it out towards the right side. Wants support in the form of Matsu Sako. In the end, he's done really well there as Matt Crooks. I think he's had a great second half for Hull City. He's made the challenge and actually won his side the throw-in. Again, Alex Neil is complaining to the 4th official. He thinks that should have been an easy throw-in for Millwall, but Crooks has done enough by the looks of things to win his side of throwing, just to ease the pressure going into the final few moments of this one. They're not really in a rush as well, Hull. It seems like they're happy at this point with the draw and they want to take it to the second leg.
Yeah, exactly. I think both sides will just have to hold their hands up and go, right, fair play to each other. We couldn't really do anything in this one, but there's still a few minutes left and it's Hull on the attack.
Yeah, it's Joseph this time, crossing it again from deep. He's looking for McBurney, who heads it down. Could be a chance. It's just evaded here. In the end, clearance high up in towards the air. Now for Lundstrom, who's in a bit of a battle there. He's won it as well. He's found Giles over on this left side. Wants to get round the Aziz, who's slid in. It might be a good tackle. I think it is. It's come off of Giles last as well. Brilliant from the Nigerian. Not just a good attacking threat, but it can also help out defensively. Just look for a moment there that Hull were going to get the knockdown inside the box. It didn't quite fall for them in the end. And Millwall just avoided what could have been a potentially late scare. They're going to get themselves a throw-in out to play themselves out of it. Halfway through the 4 minutes that have been added on at the end of this one. Still goalless. Leonard launches the ball forward. Aziz heads it on behind him. It's met by Hughes, who sends it back down the left wing for McBurney to battle for Kramer. It's done well there, as well as Hiriko charges it down and forces Leonard to sieve it out for a throw, and it's taken quickly. It's back towards Hiriko as well. Cross will come in from the substitute. It's going to go all the way through there in the end. I think the offside flag is up though anyway. And again, it's another case of Hull just not really being at the races where they were attacking.
Yeah, that sums it up, doesn't it? Even if they were onside, that cross is just so poor from Hirako on that side. Went out for a goal kick. Job well done today for Millwall, in my opinion. They'll be frustrated not to have a goal. They should have had a goal, in our opinions, as well. That shouldn't have really been ruled out. I think a 1-0 would have been fair today for Millwall, but they'll know, based off the back of this one, they've got a great chance to go to the Den and really take it to Hull.
Yeah, they've got a fantastic chance of getting to that playoff final, haven't they, at this point, Millwall? It'll certainly feel like the advantage is theirs going into that game at the Den. They'll be able to get their fans right up for it. It's basically a one-off game now. Aggregate is not going to come into effect unless there is a goal in the final stage of this one. Hull have got themselves a free kick. It's very far back though. It's on the halfway line, or maybe just a bit before that. Gavin Ward's going to punch it to Panda. Wants to take it as quickly as possible. They're running out of time to get something to take to that game at the Den. They're taking a long time with this free kick as well. A bit of deliberating over who's going to take it before Coyle eventually throws the ball down. Alex Neil not happy with where it's being taken. I don't think it makes much of a difference with it being that part of the pitch though. Coyle is still waiting on it, and now the referee's actually going to have a word. He's thrown over Leonard and Hiriko. I'm not sure if there's been some more pushing and shoving and a bit of gamesmanship going on inside the box. The second half has actually been defined by a little bit of that. Of course, the biggest moment of the game has seen a goal ruled out for Millwall because of a bit of pushing and shoving inside the penalty area. Referee is eventually happy for the free kick to be taken. In fact, no, he's not. He's now telling Louis Cole to move the ball even back. We're over 30 seconds over the 4 minutes added on. I don't think the ball has been in play over the last minute. Coyle has had to move it back 5 yards. Eventually now going to send it long for what will surely be the final attack of the game. And it comes from Coyle. It's a decent delivery as well up towards the end of the box. Crooks tries to head it down. It's Bannon who gets it clear though, up towards the halfway line. Coyle will now loop it back in, but that is all there is time for in the end on the East Coast. Neither side can be separated in this first leg of the playoff semi-final. It's all to play for at the Den on Monday evening. It's finished Hull City 0, Millwall 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our